public in South Africa are increasingly intolerant of corruption and the abuse of power by those in positions of leadership, and are more willing to hold them to account. This is according to Corruption Watch's 2016 Annual Corruption Report. The report reviews the past 5 years of the public reporting their experiences of corruption to Corruption Watch, and now celebrates close to 15,000 whistleblowers from across the spectrum who have chosen to take action. During 2016, a total of 4,391 reports of corruption were received. This is a substantial increase on previous years since the organization was formed in 2012. We look at the report with David Lewis, the Executive Director at Corruption Watch. Good to see you. Welcome.
Hi. Nice to see you as well.
I mean, it's not that there's an uptick in corruption, it's just that people are now reporting corruption.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. I mean, there are some well-known serious corruption scandals at the moment. But, I think 2016 was a year in which people really stood up in relation to corruption, and it's reflected in the increase in our number of reports as well.
Why do you think there's been this change in mindset? Do you think, maybe it's just my perceptions thinking, we see what's happening in Parliament, we see the electioneering, we see that we've become a very vocal state suddenly. Do you think this is influencing people?
Yeah, I think that it is. I think there were some big moments last year at the end of 2015, the firing of Minister Nene, the attempted trial of Minister Gordhan, the state of capture report, the Nkandla report. So I think between all of those things, they have met a South African public that is increasingly outraged and always willing to express their outrage in a variety of forms, and that's what has happened, and that's what's going to happen this year as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading in your report saying that as it stands now, if we have to calculate the amount of complaints that have been filed with you guys, it equates to 11 reports of corruption a day being reported.
And in fact, in the last 2 months, which are usually the quietest months of the year, December and January, that's more like 15. So it's really going up significantly, and I take huge comfort in that. I think that it's when the population starts believing that there's nothing that can be done about it, that we have a real problem, and our South Africans don't yet believe that. Thank goodness.
But I think what's frightening, however, is where these complaints are coming from, and the biggest chunk of the complaints are, and we've spoken about it before, still in schooling.
Yeah. No, schools, people misuse the term petty corruption and think it's trivial. In fact, this is what people in their ordinary lives, ordinary people in their daily lives encounter all the time. And this is where they make up their mind about the quality of their government, the quality of their public service. And it needs to be dealt with. Yeah.
David, I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, just to stay on a little bit. We need to get into our news bulletin at 7 o'clock, and then we'll quickly continue the conversation and wrap it up after the news bulletin. I think it's an important one. It's an annual report that's been released by Corruption Watch, just taking a look at the increase in the reporting of South Africans towards corruption, and we'll dig a little deeper into those kind of reports and the sectors that are most influenced.